The funeral flowers were still fresh when my brother Derek pointed at the door. My sister Nicole stood beside him with her arms crossed, nodding in agreement. Their faces showed no mercy, only cold determination. I was still wearing my black funeral dress, the one I'd wore to say goodbye to Dad. The fabric felt heavy against my skin as I stood there, trying to understand what was happening. My suitcase sat by my feet, already packed by Derek while I was in the bathroom. They'd gone through my room and thrown everything into that worn gray bag without care. I could see my favorite sweater hanging out of the zipper, wrinkled and mistreated. Dad's cologne still lingered in the hallway, that familiar scent of cedar and vanilla that made my chest ache. How could they do this so soon after we buried him? Derek's finger remained pointed at the door like a weapon. Words died in my throat. I grabbed my suitcase handle, my fingers trembling. As I stepped through the doorway into the cool evening air, I heard the lock click behind me. My tiny studio apartment felt suffocating that night. The walls were thin, and I could hear my neighbor's television through the plaster. I sat on my second-hand couch, still in that funeral dress, unable to move. That's when I remembered the envelope. 3 weeks before Dad died, he'd called me to the hospital. His hands were shaking as he pressed the thick manila envelope into my palm. His voice was weak but urgent. "Paige, listen carefully. Only open this if they turn against you. Not before." I tucked it away in my nightstand drawer, confused but obedient. Now I pulled it out with trembling fingers. The envelope was sealed with red wax, old-fashioned and deliberate. Dad's handwriting on the front read, "For Paige Marie Thompson. Private." I set it on my coffee table and stared at it for hours. The clock ticked past midnight. What could be inside that was so important, so secret, that Dad had hidden it even from me? Part of me was terrified to open it. What if it changed everything? What if it made things worse? But another part of me, the part that had just been thrown out of my childhood home by my own siblings, needed answers. I needed to understand why Dad had given me this warning, this preparation for betrayal. My fingers finally reached for the envelope at 3 in the morning.